My senior year in high school, family moved to Searsport, and Radio Shack, I discovered, had these little gizmos that you could hook a 9-volt battery up to and a microphone and broadcast on the FM band. And I rigged up a rabbit ear to it to make the signal go out a little further. Not sure how legal that was, but it got out maybe about a mile in all directions from my house's attic. And one of the listeners to that radio station when I was on the air was Natalie Knox.
We were two kids from Searsport, Maine, who didn't have a clue other than we wanted to do this on our own. And when I say we didn't have a clue, we really did have a clue about Ellsworth. We knew that this was retail and that it would fly.
So Natalie and I did some talking, found an old friend in the radio business who would co-sign a loan for us so we could actually build a station. And we did that early 1982. First station was KISS 94. At the time, Ellsworth really didn't have a radio station that catered to the under 50 crowd. We wanted to reach young families. We thought, give them something good to listen to, give the advertisers a good station to advertise on.
Well, back in 1983, I lost a job in TV, and about 2 weeks later, after not searching too hard, they found me and asked if I wanted to come down and talk about a news job at then KISS 94. And then they hired me then, and wow, what a fun ride.
We think we put a pretty good sounding radio station on the air. As a matter of fact, Billboard magazine agreed with that. In our first year in operation, they gave us the National Award for Radio Station of the Year for small markets.
And we've said so many times, we knew there was a hole. We didn't know it was the Grand Canyon.
We were young and foolish and didn't have any idea what we were doing. And I always found that Mark and Nat were extremely supportive by, letting me do pretty much whatever I wanted. Meetings are not a big thing with them. I don't remember any meetings, to be honest with you.
So in the late 1990s, we had an offer through a mediary from Clear Channel Communications, now known as iHeart. And it was just something that we couldn't refuse. We really loved the radio station. We loved the people that we worked with. But it was a once-in-a-lifetime offer.
And I had stayed on at our old radio stations for a year, and that was enough. I had a client who was unhappy with her advertising because she didn't want to do it. She wanted to know if I'd do it. So I called Mark and I said, "Are you ready to not be retired anymore?"
It was just Natalie and me in a small office. But we went around to some of our old radio advertisers who we'd worked with for almost 20 years and asked them if we could be their ad agency.
And so that's how the Knox and Osborne advertising agency started.
We started out with a pretty good roster of local clients, most of whom we still have today.
We started as a family. My father had a car wash out back here in 1982 when they started. He ran the car wash. I was down front with a tire shop. He was the first one of the very first ones that advertised with them because he just added 4 more bays of self-serve car wash. So over the years, all that time frame, from then till now, we have been advertising with them.
I think Merrill Furniture was the very first business that they ever signed up when they first got here to town. So I've been with them for a long time and continue to be with them now. It's been a great relationship, both personally, business-wise, and it's been great.
But all the time we were operating Knox and Osborne Advertising, we were keenly aware that the local radio stations had moved all of their operations to Bangor and Brewer.
And we looked at each other and said, well, what do you think? Is there room for another hometown radio station again?
And we saw that Clear Channel had an FM station at 97.7 that they really weren't doing anything spectacular with. It was just kind of sitting there. So through a friend of ours who had inside connections at Clear Channel, he made the call, talked them into selling it. We bought it, and it's now Star 97.7.
We're back.
And I got a phone call from Mark and said, "Can we have lunch?" He likes to buy lunch. And then said, "You want to come back and do news for 6 weeks to get us off the ground?" Sure, why not? And so 6 weeks turned into about 15 years.
It's been a great, great adventure. And it's funny, I've known Mark and Nat, we've known each other being in this business for a long time. I've been in the greater area for most of my career, but it wasn't until about almost 6 years ago when I had the opportunity to work for them. And it's been a flash, and it's been so much fun.
We try at least once a month to be doing some kind of fundraiser locally. Last month it was the big Hancock County food drive. In January we do one for the Emmaus Homeless Shelter. I mean, we try to be involved as much as we can because people here are so responsive to it, and it's very heartwarming. Again, there's your magic of Ellsworth.
The Top Drawer Award for Mark and Nat, I can't think of two nicer people to be honored. I mean, they've been in the radio market here in the Ellsworth area. They started in '82, so this would be 40 years.
And Mark and Natalie, congratulations for all the years that you've done such a super job.
There's never been two people more involved than them, and they're always giving back, always coming up with ideas, and can't think of two people any more deserving than them to receive this award.
It overwhelms me to be able to say that we're going to receive this.
Getting the Top Drawer Award, I think, is something that just about every business in the Ellsworth area would like to get someday. And when we found out that we were going to be the recipients this year, it really just took our breath away.
We're just so blown away by this.
We're glad we've done something good for the place that we live in, and we're happy to receive this award.
It's extremely flattering, and it's an award, I think, in part being given to us by the business community, which means so very much because they're the reason that we're here. So, thank you.